Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. Yeah, here to talk a little bit about the situation going on with Mayor Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York City, the current mayor of New York City. Prayers up for him because he's now announced that he woke up with a raspy voice and he is suffering from COVID. So prayers for him. Prayers go out to him and his family because just as we think we're out of the woods with COVID, all of a sudden it comes back up, with the political class. Seems like they're trying to convince us to get rid of the mask mandates, and they're trying to convince us to get rid of certain restrictions throughout their cities, and all that stuff that was keeping us safe and precaution for the past 2 years. But in actuality, they shouldn't get rid of it because it's still relevant to our experience here, um, especially in big cities like New York. Keep in mind, New York, the geography of New York is very different than other cities. Other cities are more spread out, other cities are more distant from each other. You're able to keep your distance from certain individuals. But in this case, in New York, you're really not able to keep your distance from other individuals, even if you're the mayor when you live in Gracie's mansion or whatever, you still interact with people on a daily basis. So imagine if it's like that for the mayor and for the political class. Imagine how it is for the regular lumpen proletariat, if you will, the regular everyday average Joe, the regular dude on the street. It is even worse because we got to take the trains, we got to take the buses, we got to take public transportation, and for disabled people, we got to take accessoride. So we all up in the grill, all up in the faces of individuals all day long. So the 6 feet apart mandates and the mask mandates are hard to really maintain, especially the 6 feet apart mandates, given the close proximity of our locations here in the city of New York. So this, more so than a prayer for Eric Adams as a mayor and Eric Adams as an individual, is more of a cautionary tale that we are not out of the woods when it comes to COVID-19 yet. It's still something that we're dealing with. And I think, of course, a lot of people are eager to get rid of the restrictions because they want to enhance their personal freedom or their economic freedom, and they want to get the economy rolling again. And New York is really suffering from um, a crime wave epidemic as well, especially in the trains and public transportation. So Mayor Adams is eager to get New York back to where it was back like in the 90s and the 2000s, under previous administrations, because I believe, de Blasio fucked it all up. De Blasio, Mayor de Blasio really dropped the ball when it came to a lot of things, by being more lenient. And Mayor Adams was trying to be less lenient, especially with the homeless situation, you know, relocating a lot of homeless individuals um, away from the Williamsburg Bridge. You know, it's an unsightly thing. Not to say that homeless people should be penalized or punished, but it really reflects badly on the city of New York when you have things like that. So I agree with his initiatives there. I don't agree with his initiatives passing the blame and passing the buck to drill music again. We go over that in the video in the archives. That I think blaming entertainment is misguided. You're doing a lot of the same stuff that conservatives often do. They focus on cultural issues in lieu of the economic issues that cause the disparities between people, or in lieu of the personal issues like the breakdown of the nuclear family, for example, or absentee fathers, for another example, or the mass incarceration that causes these absentee um, fathers. So I don't agree with that necessarily, but I do agree with his certain anti-crime initiatives that he is taking, putting back into place. That were there during Mayor Bloomberg or even Mayor Giuliani's administrations. Giuliani and I, of course, I hashed it out about Giuliani. I expressed my feelings about Mayor Giuliani and how I felt about his tenure as mayor. But one thing that can't be denied, and by the way, he didn't start it. It was sort of like Dinkins before '91. He started those crime initiatives that really cleaned up the city in the 80s and 90s, but he didn't get the credit. So I agree with Mayor Adams on that, and I hope he continues that work. But as far as COVID lifting the mask mandates, I understand the wisdom behind it, but I don't necessarily agree with it. And I think he himself, on a personal level, found out why that isn't a wise decision. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Prayers up for Mayor Adams. Much love to New York City. We know we'll rebound. We'll come back. We're like the comeback kid of the economic of, of the United States and of the economic world and the economic sphere. We'll come back. We'll come back pretty soon. We're always here. We're like um, the oldest. We're one of the oldest cities in North America. We were the economic engine that drove the United States for through most of its history, and even in the pre-colonial era during the Dutch. The Dutch period, we were an economic engine driving the Dutch West India Company, and will continue to be an economic engine and a cultural influencer in this world. New York, stand up. We love you, Mayor Adams, and the whole of New York, the whole of the Big Apple, the Gran Manzana, if you will, in Spanish, stands with you. One love. Peace.